G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Welcome to patch 1.95, where a brand spanking new MiG-21, the SMT, and the MK or something like that. One of them's in the German tree, one of them's in the Russian tree, but they're both basically the same plane. So, the kicker with these planes is their missiles. You see, the F-13 is garbage. Nothing short of garbage. It has no endurance. It has barely any ammunition. It has really crappy missiles. And in a turn fight, it just doesn't hold out. There's nothing really for it to do in War Thunder. Its acceleration is okay, but it's not anything groundbreaking. And sure, you can beat anything in a low-speed turn fight, but you're not really going to get that at jets at this tier. This plane comes with R60Ms. No, R60s. These are rear aspect lock missiles with an 18G load. Yes, you heard it right, 18Gs. These missiles rival the SRAMs in terms of ability to lock onto a target. That is absolutely incredible. But the thing for me that makes me question these missiles is, are they balanced? Is the G loading too much? You know, it's 2 off the SRAM, and the SRAM is incredible. And with a 5-kilometer range on these, that's, a just a little bit longer than the SRAM. 2.5 times higher than the SRAM. So you might be wondering, is it actually, feasible? Is it balanced? Does it just yeet itself off the side of the rail like the SRAM does, and sometimes almost collide with the plane that it fired them with? They're not quite like that. In fact, the R60s are more akin to AIM-9Es than they are to SRAMs. And I'll speculate as to why. I think it's simply because they have a lower G tolerance, as in a lower maximum G rating, off the rails. So you can't just sort of yeet them around like they're nothing. And instead they trade that for range. You can see the targets that I'm going to engage successfully with the R60Ms are slow. And that is how you engage targets with these missiles. And in fact, I honestly feel like they're closer to AIM-9Es or AIM-9Ds than they are actually closer to any other missile in the game. They don't really feel like 20G missiles. And in fact, if you are supersonic, in some cases you will actually be able to outpull them. The missile itself is absolutely garbage below 1,000 meters. Below 1,000 meters, it's still gaining speed. It's not able to turn, it's not able to get itself on target nearly as much, and the amount of people who have managed to dodge an R60 below 1,000 meters is beyond incredible to me. Between about 1,500 meters and 2.5 kilometers is when these missiles are at their most deadly. If you've got a MiG-21 behind you at 2.5 kilometers and he fires a missile, you better have some speed with you because you will face your maker. You can see that this missile is about to head off, and it is about at a 1.5 kilometer range, and it strikes a critical hit. The plane will eventually crash, but for now I have to continue to focus on some other stuff. For example, this MiG-19 off to my left. The other MiG-19 that's being run down by my teammate. Am I going to engage it? And I think I will, because it's just not really... if I can get rid of it quickly, then I can get rid of it quickly. And the MiG-19S here is a little bit slow. It's not supersonic. It's not at altitude. So it's going to, get yeeted on by one of these missiles. They are extremely strong. Don't get me wrong. But I don't really feel like I can say that they're overpowered yet. Maybe I'm wrong, and over time we'll find out. But for now, I'm leaning towards not OP. However, I would like to see a couple of things added since the R60Ms, since the R60s are in the game on planes. You see, there are no countermeasures as it stands for these incredible missiles. I reckon you could give us R60Ms and give us flares as well, or some sort of, something to counter it, some sort of counterplay. You can see Obviously, I'm targeting quite slow planes, but even that MiG-19S is able to dodge it. Does it really need them? I think it would be kind of nice, but at the same time, I'm still on the fence about this. This is patch day. We're still yet to let the meta settle, and I want to make sure that I'm saying the right thing. For now, we're just sort of speculating, and you can see again, I yeet a R60 off at 1.5 kilometers, and the MiG-19S is able to dodge it. I think I'm right when I say that they're balanced. As for the plane itself, honestly, I really like this plane a lot better than the MiG-21 F. I got my words mixed up because it's about 5 in the morning and I've been streaming for 7.5 hours. So do bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. But you can see that it gets a different set of cannons. I'm about to engage this MiG-19, and because I'm unfamiliar with the cannons, I will underlead them. But you can see just the volume of fire is so much better. It's just beautiful. It works when it needs to, compared to the pathetic shells of the NR30s. And since you only get one NR30 on the MiG-21F, it's extremely frustrating to have to deal with situations where you just can't land your shots, even though you have the target where you want them. If you had any other gun, any other plane, you would have had the kill. But no, it doesn't seem to be that way. Now, in the background footage, you can see that I'm engaging a MiG-19S, and you can see that he's not quite winning out against me. And I have a little feeling that the MiG-21 is a little bit better, or this MiG-21 is just a little bit better at turning at lower altitude than it is at higher altitude because of the delta wing. At higher altitudes, you will try and turn with a MiG-19, and you will never win. I've never, ever won a dogfight at high altitude with this particular MiG-21 against a MiG-19. It just doesn't seem to turn well. It just seems to suck, quite frankly, at turning at higher altitudes. And I'm not sure if that's correctly modeled, but that's just what I observe. If I'm wrong, maybe I am wrong, and you can let me know in the comments section below. But this is a marked improvement over the MiG-21F. And honestly, it is such a welcome change. I feel so relieved playing this thing, knowing that the Soviets and the Germans actually have something that is really nice and competitive at the highest BR that's not the previous generation of jets. I think this plane could probably go to 10.7, and maybe the F4C could also go as well with AIM-9Gs or something like that. I think that would be really cool. The FGR-2, obviously same deal. But at the same time, I'm just glad that we have a decent MiG-21 in the game. For those of you who don't know what that little circle thing is, that is a radar warning system of some sort. I'm not quite sure exactly what it's called, but basically it tells you if someone has a radar ping on you. So, for example, the MiG-19 in front of me can see me on his radar, and it's coming up on my screen that he can. So, it's kind of a cool feature to be added. I kind of like it on planes, and it will come on later planes as well. It's just a modernization feature, I suppose. So, is the plane itself, better than the F4 Phantom? I don't think so. I've had plenty of experiences where the R60s don't quite do the job that I was hoping they would, and in other cases they do more than I expect. I find them incredibly unreliable in certain circumstances, but I think I just have to figure out the circumstances that they work best in. Obviously, if you're going slow, you're going to get absolutely yeeted by them. But if you're fast, if you have a bit of speed that you can bleed, or if you're at an altitude where it's not going to be as easy for the missile to make its turns, then I suppose you're in a situation where you can dodge it. And most of the time, I think you'll be able to. You can see in the background footage, I'm going to show you just a little bit more, and I'm going to get a couple of kills with the missiles. They're mostly kills on slow targets, and that's what I'm going to aim for. It just seems to be better at getting kills on slower targets, and that's what I would go for, and that's what I would use them for. But anyway, ladies and gents, this is pretty much where I'm going to leave the video. If you guys have an opinion on this new MiG-21, let me know in the comment section below. If you're going to be like those guys in the background footage and run one down, I mean, I don't blame you. Just don't end up like them, please. They all end up dying. Spoiler. But anyway, ladies and gents, I hope you really enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.